Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Exclusive Modest. Hope you have a wonderful day. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut this particular style you're seeing on the screen. Is that a flounce around the skirt length? You can see it. So, and the upper part of the half cut is a cowl neck, a turtleneck cowl neck. You can make it a turtleneck cowl neck. You can also make it a round neck, a very how will I put it? And you can also make it a very tight round neck to the neckline. That means you're not going to make the neckline to be wide at all. So the first thing I'll be cutting out is this pattern paper. So I'll be taking the necessary measurement on the pattern paper. The shoulder measurement, the length of this pattern paper is the length of the half cut, which is 16 inches. You can see. So the first measurement will be the shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches. 7.5 inches for the shoulder slant of 1 inch. You can see. Then from the shoulder slant, I'll be making use of armhole of 7.5 inches. So this is the armhole and this is the slant shoulder to the neckline. So the next thing to take is the bust measurement. The bust measurement is 36 inches. I will make use of 9.5 inches since it will be folded into 4. Like this. Then 1.5 inches of seam allowance. Then I'm coming down to the waist measurement of 28 inches. That means 7 in 4 places is going to give us 28 inches with a seam allowance of 1.5 inches. Then I'll be connecting the lines together, starting from the armhole using my armhole cowl. So then I'm going to use my ruler to trace it down to the waist measurement. After this, I'll be cutting it out. So after cutting it out this way, the next thing I'm going to take is to cut this. I'm going to take a measurement from the shoulder here. I'm going to take a measurement from the neckline here to this 8.5 inches. You can see this is 8.5 inches. You can see. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to take a measurement to 7.5 inches. This is my 7.5 inches. Then from this 7.5 inches, I'm going to wheel it down to the armhole. You can see. So after doing this, the next thing I'm going to do is to take a measurement from the neckline here, from the shoulder here. So I'm going to take 2.5 inches here, then 5 inches here. So that is where I'm going to curve the line to reach this side. You can see this is for the first one, and this is for the second one. Then the next thing now is to cut it out. I'm not cutting out the neckline here. It's after when you place it on the fabric, then you cannot cut out the neckline. If you are cutting out the neckline here, it might affect the stretching. So starting from this, you can see I'm stopping at the edge here. I'm not going to cut it into 2. I'm going to stop here. You can see it. So the same thing applicable to these other ones. You can see. So the next one, so you can see now. So this is now what we want. The next thing now is to place it on the fabric.
Yeah.
So to cut out the back, I'm placing this on it, leaving my zip allowance here. You can leave any inches of your choice. So this is the back. So this is the pattern paper. I want to cut it on the fabric. You can see the way I stretch it out. The distance must be 2.5 inches that we use to cut it out here. So the distance must also be 2.5 inches. So you can see this is now 2.5. This is also 2.5 inches. You can see it. Try to shift it to give you 2.5 inches. 2.5 here. 2.5 here too. So this also must be 2.5 inches, you can see. So then I'll come to this side, this edge. This is from this stretch here. When the stretch ends, then we'll now slant it. It depends on how you want the cut to be. You can try to make your ruler go up this way, or you come down a little bit. It depends on how you want it. So let me just stop it here. Let me come down a little bit to this. So I'm okay with it. You can see this tie, it does, as in the drop neck is not that much. That's why I'm stopping it here. So I'm now going to cut from here to the armhole, to the length of the half cut. This is now what we have here. You can see. Then I can now come to this area and cut the neckline. I told you the neckline, you can make it a turtleneck, you can also make it a one neck. So I'm using 4 inches here. So from this 4 inches, I'm cutting it out like this. And if I open it and I see the neck is too tight, I might still widen it more. So I'll be using this neckline to cut out the back neckline too, placing it this way. You can see. The reason why I'm not starting from here is because of the zip allowance. So, and when I see that this is very tight at the neckline, I might still reduce it down to size the roundness of the neck. So, to cut out the skirt part of the dress, the down part, folding this fabric into two. You can also fold this in the way that you are leaving the zip allowance at the back here, and you can also fold it equally this way. Then you slit it at the back, then you insert your zip to it, and that is what I will be doing here. I'll be taking the waist measurement of 7 inches. 7 inches. Then I'll be adding the seam allowance to it. The seam allowance of 3 inches. This is going to differ from the seam allowance that is on the half cut. Then I'll be determining the hip point of 9 inches, the wideness of the hip, is 40 inches. That's 10 in 4 places. It's going to give us the 40 inches that we need here. You can see the same allowance of 2 inches. Then from here, I'm going to make a slant line to the length of the skirt. And the length of the skirt is taking the half cut up of 16 inches. You can see. Then we have 58 inches for the length of the skirt. You cannot see it. I've slanted it down to the length of the skirt. This is going to be an A-line form. You can see. So the next thing is to cut it out. So this is now the skirt. You can see. Then I'll be taking one away from it. I'll be taking the front out of it to cut out where the flounce is going to be at the front. So I'm taking one of these out for the front. So I'll be taking my measurement from here. So the flounce can be at the left or at the right, depending on how you want it. So I'm not going to start from this edge. I'm going to leave 3 inches away. No, the seam allowance that I added was 3 inches, so that's why I'm deducting it back. So that by the time I want to stitch it, I'm stitching from this point. Then I'm going to take 20 inches down. 20 inches down. Then I'm going to connect them together. The next thing now is to slant it from here to reach this area. So this is the main line. So the reason why I'm adding this to it is for the seam allowance. So that by the time you place that flounce there, it's not going to short the wideness of this. So by the time I cut it out, it will be more straight than this. I'm going to notch this area so as to know where the upper part is. It's the same thing applicable to the other side too. So we are done with this. The next thing is to cut the flounce. To cut out the flounce, you must know the length of this, because that is where the radius is going to be before placing it on this line. So let's take the measurement of this length to know our radius on flounce. This is 30.5 inches. You can see. So we've gotten that. Of the length of our flounce is going to be the length from here to this area. So what is our length? Let's take the measurement. This is 21.5 inches. You can see 21.5 and 30.5 inches. That is the measurement we're going to use. So folding this into 4 equal, you can see, to cut out the flounce. This is where to take the radius. I'm starting from this center to determine where I can get my 31.5 inches. So using 4.5 inches, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5 inches. You can see. So let me take the wideness. Maybe it can give me the 31.5 inches that I needed. Yes, this is 7.9 inches, 7.8 inches. You can see this is 7.8 inches. Oh, okay, this is 7.9 inches. You can see it. So that means 8 inches is going to give us 32 inches. So this 7.9 inches can give us 31.5 inches. So after connecting them together, then I can now cut it out. The next line here is 5 inches, so that's why I'm not using that. I'm using this 4.5 inches. So I'm cutting it from that 4.5 inches. Now this is what gave us the 31.5 inches that we needed. So now, then from here, I'm going to take the length of 21.5 inches. This is 21.5 inches. 21.5 inches. 21.5 inches. So this is after connecting them together, you can see. Then I'm going to cut it out. So you can see, you cannot open it by dividing one of the side. So to cut the sleeve out, I'm folding it into 4. You know, I'm using the pieces that remain. So to cut it out now, this has been folded into 4. The next thing I'll be taking is the length of the sleeve, which is 22 inches. 22 is here. 22 inches is here. Then I'm going to roll it out. From this upper part here, I'm going to take down. I'll be taking down 5 inches. Then I'm going to roll it out like this, and this is the edge that we're coming. So I'm going to sketch out like S, like this. You can see the reason why for this is that the sleeve you're looking at the sleeve that you're seeing at the thumbnail, it has a puff at the shoulder. So to get that puff, you have to cuff it this way. You can see. Then from here now, the wideness of the sleeve here is going to have a joining. That's why I'm starting from this 8 inches. So the wideness is going to be 8 inches. Then I'll be using 7 inches at this area. 7 inches with the same allowance of ½ inch. The 8 inches with the same allowance of ½ inch. Then I'm going to slant it down. So this is now the shape of the sleeve. You can see. I cannot cut it. You are done with the cutting of the sleeve. You can see now. You can see the cuff. This is where to stay at the shoulder. So let me go and join all that and show you the finishing. This flounce on the skirt. So I'm going to place this side on it, then I'm going to stitch it starting from this upper part. This is the area I stitched that time, like this. Then I will stitch. Welcome back. This is after joining all the cuttings together. You can see the flounce at the side. You can see it. You can see. Then I join, after joining into this area at the side, then I join the side of the flounce. to the side of the skirt. The same thing applicable to the other side too. After joining the flounce to the side here too, I join the side of the flounce to the hip line. You can see this is the half cut. You see the half cut, and this is the drap area. You can see the core area. You can see the way I pleat the shoulder just to bring out the flounce. The excess at the shoulder, I pleat it on that shoulder at the back, and this is my neckline. I told you can make the turtle neckline. You can also make this one neckline. You can see it's only go up. It's like turtleneck that doesn't have band. So you can see how beautiful this turns out. This is the flounce joining to the cutting at the front. The flounce is between this side and this other side. So if you're watching for the first time, please, at the end of this class, please subscribe to my channel. And for those people that will subscribe, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video always. And also on your notification bell, so that whenever I upload any tutorial, you'll be notified. See you in my next class. Assalamu alaikum.